Good morning to all of you. We want to again continue with the application of Gauss theorem. We are going to discuss in detail the electric field intensity due to charged spherical shell. As well, we want to discuss due to the charged sphere. So now what we are willing to do is we want to find electric field intensity due to uniformly charged spherical shell. So this is a hollow sphere. Spherical shell means we are having a hollow sphere with you, and in that hollow sphere inside we have already discussed, if I am having a conducting shell with me, then the charge will always lie on the outer surface only. No charge will lie inside. But now what we are going to do is we are going to get all these results with the help of Gauss theorem, and we have already discussed Gauss theorem is nothing but another way, a modified way of writing the Coulomb's law. So you all should be knowing this thing, that we are simply doing with the modification of the Coulomb's law. So result, if I go with the Coulomb's law again from the very beginning, I will be getting the same results. So today what you have to do is we have to find the electric field intensity due to uniformly charged spherical shell. So this is the blue colored shell which is shown in the diagram. This is the spherical shell with me. So charge is lying over the surface of the spherical shell, and let me suppose that the value of charge which is there is small q, and surface charge density, that is equals to, we have already discussed, charge per unit area. If I assume capital R is the radius of the spherical shell, then the area will be equals to 4 pi r square, and so surface charge density sigma will be given by q upon 4 pi r square. Radius here is capital R. And this is by the Gauss theorem, as I have already discussed. Electric flux, it is equals to the surface integral of E dot ds, which is by the definition of electric flux. And this flux is equals to 1 upon epsilon naught times the charge enclosed. This is by Gauss theorem. So all this as a total, I write it as the by the knowledge of electric flux and the Gauss theorem. So what it is, we want to find the electric field intensity if I take a point outside this spherical shell. First case, I am taking small r, my point P is lying here at a distance small r from the center of the spherical shell, where small r is greater than the radius of the spherical shell. So it means how I will be doing, I will be simply assuming a Gaussian surface around the spherical shell. At a distance small r, we will assume a Gaussian surface, and this is the Gaussian surface which is shown by the dotted line. And then you can find, using Gauss theorem, you can see the area vector. If I cut a small area, then area vector, and because we are assuming the positive charge here, so electric field is outward and area vector is also outward, so both will be acting in the same direction. So theta will be 0. So integral of E ds cos of 0, that will be equals to q upon epsilon naught, and cos 0 is 1, and integral of ds means area of this Gaussian surface. Area of this Gaussian surface means 4 pi small r square, and if you put the value here 4 pi small r square, then I am getting this as the result for the electric field intensity, which is equals to q upon 4 pi r square epsilon naught. Of course, this is the result. I can stop here also, but I can write it in terms of the surface charge density, because in the question if they are asking you to write in terms of surface charge density, then you know surface charge density sigma, that is equals to q upon 4 pi r square, where capital R is the radius of this spherical shell. Surface charge density is given in terms of the radius of the spherical shell, because my shell is this is actual thing. And Gaussian surface is only an hypothetical surface, only for the sake of assumption, for taking the point P if I am taking here at this point. So you can put the value of this small q here, which is sigma into 4 pi capital R square, and then you will be getting this as a result, because 4 pi will get cancelled and you are left with E equals to sigma r square divided by epsilon naught small r square. So this is the result. I may leave the result here, or if they are asking in terms of sigma, I will be writing this way. But both these expressions, if I go with this expression or I go with this expression, both these expressions you can see that electric field intensity is inversely proportional to the r square, small r square, where small r is the distance from the center. It means this is same result as I got for the electric field intensity because of a point charge. If I keep the point charge here at center, then again at r distance I am finding the electric field intensity by Coulomb's law. I got the same result. Same result. So this, if I want to do the graph plotting when my point is lying beyond this radius, it means outside the shell, then this is the graph. 1 upon r square. E is inversely to r square, or I can say is directly to 1 upon r square. And of course direction of E will be outward only because the charge is positive. So this is the first case when I am taking a point outside the shell. It means point is lying somewhere outside the spherical shell. From there only I have taken the small distance r. Now second case, if I put the point here on the surface of the shell only, it means spherical shell. If I put the point on the surface of the spherical shell, then of course this small r will be replaced by capital R, because then this distance will be equals to capital R, and then your result you will be getting E ds theta is 0 because E is outward and area vector is also in the outward direction. This is by the definition of Gauss theorem. And integral of ds is 4 pi capital R square, because capital R is the distance now from the center. So this is, and q upon 4 pi R square is sigma. I can leave the result here again in the same way, simply by replacing small r by capital R. If I replace small r by capital R, I am getting this as the result, equals to q upon 4 pi capital R square epsilon naught. And if I want to write in terms of sigma, then q upon 4 pi capital R square is sigma. So this value can be replaced by sigma. So E you are getting sigma upon epsilon naught. Again direction is same as that of area vector, that is outward. So this is the result in terms of surface charge density, or this is the result if you don't want to write in terms of surface charge density. Simple way, this is same result as we have got for the point charge. And distance, you have to see whether it is small r when it is outside. When it is on the surface, the distance will be capital R equals to radius itself. So point is lying on the shell. This is the result with you people for the electric field. In third case, that the point is lying inside the shell somewhere. Here at P point is here. Now R is small r is less than capital R. Again, this is sigma surface charge density given, but there is no charge inside the shell, as we have already discussed that q it is equals to 0. Here when I go inside the shell, then q it is equals to 0, and so you will be putting the value of q equals to 0, and hence you get electric field equals to 0. This point we have already discussed when we spoke about the electrostatic shielding, that we can protect any body from the charges because inside the conductor there is no charge. So if you want to draw the graph between E and R for all the three cases, then inside, it means if I take point P here or here anywhere, but it should not be on the surface of the shell. If it is on the surface of the shell, then it is getting the maximum value, that is q upon 4 pi capital R square, and then after that it is going to decrease. It means when R is less than capital R, it is equals to 0. Electric field is 0, shown by the red line here. And when it is at R equals to capital R, it is getting some value, that is a fixed value. that value you will be taking it as the maximum value. Then after that, if you are going outside this shell anywhere, then the electric field is going to get decreased with the relation that E is directly to 1 upon r square. So this is the complete graph for showing all the three cases of the spherical shell. This is a very important question. Spherical shell, you should be able to find the electric field intensity due to the spherical shell. Of course, it is a conducting shell. Now, if I have a sphere, if sphere is the conducting sphere, then the results will be same as that of spherical shell. But if I have an insulated sphere, now this is not specially mentioned in your syllabus, but the thing is, there is one question in your NCERT. They are asking you to assume the previous atomic model where this is whole thing is positive charge, and this whole thing cannot be positive charge if it is a conductor, because charge will go outside the conductor by the property of the conductors. And if I have an insulated sphere, then only the charge can stay inside the sphere as well. So that case we are discussing with you just so that you are able to solve that question. That is a solved problem in your NCERT, that atom is considered as a positive charge here. So if this is considered as a positive charge, it means it is a sphere which is an insulated sphere, because charge can stay on the insulated bodies, like on the dielectrics it can stay, but on conductors it will always move to the outer surface. So we are assuming plus q is the charge which is uniformly distributed, capital R is again the radius of the sphere, and rho is the volume charge density. Rho means, because we have to take the whole volume now. When we have taken the spherical shell, we were talking about sigma, that is surface charge density. Here, when whole volume is going to contribute, we will be talking about volume charge density, that is rho, which is equals to q upon 4 by 3 pi r cube. Volume is 4 by 3 pi r cube. So rho, it is written as q per unit volume. So value of q can be written as rho into volume, that is 4 by 3 pi r cube into rho. So we are willing to see the electric field. Of course, electric field direction is outward as in spherical shell, and surface vector, your area vector is also perpendicular outward. So theta will be 0. If you see by the definition of flux, phi E, it is equals to E dot ds, and cos theta angle is 0 itself. And if you are willing to write this thing phi, if by taking the integral of ds, it will be when I am taking the point P outside the sphere, first case, it means my point is lying at a distance small r. This is the Gaussian surface shown again by the dotted line, black color. That is a Gaussian surface with you, and the distance is small r. So area will be equals to 4 pi small r square, and volume we can find accordingly, that will be 4 by 3 pi small r cube. So if I want to write electric flux, that is electric field into the integral of ds, and integral of ds will be equals to 4 pi r square. So this is the value of the flux by this definition of flux, and using Gauss theorem, this flux is equals to q upon epsilon naught. So you put the value of flux, which is equals to E into 4 pi r square into q upon epsilon naught. So this is the same result I am getting, which I got for the spherical shell event, same as that of the point charge. It means first case, whether I am doing for the spherical shell or I am doing for the sphere, I am getting the same result of this. I can write it in terms of sigma, or I can write it in terms of rho, whatever way they want from you, you can write. But this is the basic result with you, which I am getting for the electric field intensity when the point is lying outside the sphere. So this result for the spherical shell as well as for sphere is same if I am writing in terms of the charge. Now what happens if the point P is lying on the sphere? It means here at this point. Then small r becomes equals to capital R. And so this expression, in place of small r, you will be writing capital R. So it means first and second cases are same for even if you take the spherical shell or you take the sphere. This is just to keep it in your mind that results I am getting in same when I am writing in terms of the charge. That is, here I am getting q upon 4 pi epsilon naught capital R square, because small r it is equals to capital R. So these two parts are same whether I do with the spherical shell or I do with the sphere. Now the thing is, if the point is lying inside, it means now point is lying inside here. This is the outer is the radius capital R and my point Gaussian surface I am drawing here inside when the small r is less than capital R. Then like we have done in gravitation chapter, when you go inside the earth, then the whole uniform density is there. So volume charge density will be accordingly, the value of charge will get changed. There what happened when you went inside the earth, the mass of earth get changed because outer part of the mass was not contributing. Similarly here also when you go inside, then this whatever charge was lying, because charge is embedded, insulated sphere it is. So what it is that this charge will not be contributing, only this much charge will be contributing. So here in the Gauss theorem you will be writing E in integral of ds which is equals to q dash upon epsilon naught. So value of q dash is to be calculated. Q dash, that is of course the volume into density. Volume is 4 by 3 pi small r cube into rho is the volume charge density with me. And the value of volume charge density I have already written in terms of the charge which is known to me, that is q upon 4 by 3 pi capital R cube. So if you work out this, you are getting the q dash in terms of the charge which is known to me, that is q. And you are getting q dash equals to q small r cube divided by capital R cube. So this is the value of q dash. You have to find this value of q dash first of all, and then you can put this value of q dash using the Gauss theorem, E integral ds. Integral of ds is equals to 4 pi small r square, because now the distance is small r, and value of charge is changed when I am getting the point inside. When I was getting the point outside, then this value was q itself, but because now this is, they are saying an insulated sphere, this part only is different, and you have to understand that the value of charge is getting changed in the same way as in 11th we did with the when the body is going inside the earth. The mass, then the mass was changing, and now here the charge is getting changed. So value of q dash you will be writing from here this expression, that is q small r cube divided by epsilon naught capital R cube. And this is E into area is 4 pi small r square. Then you work out with the things. I am left with the result E equals to rho r divided by 3 epsilon naught. So it means for this part inside the earth, E is coming directly to the distance r. I am getting a straight line. If I go at the center, then R will become 0. So electric field intensity will also be 0. So E is always 0 at the center of the sphere, at the center of the shell, at the center of the ring, wherever you find, because you can prove these things from the various derivations. So this is from 0, means when R is 0, then E is also 0. When you are increasing the R but within the sphere, it means R is less than the capital R, then it is coming out to be a straight line. But when R is greater than the capital R, then it is inversely to R square as it was in the spherical shell. So this part is same as that of spherical shell, but here there is a change in the graph because of this whole derivation there in front. This is a question, numerical problem with you. A spherical shell of metal, it has a radius of 0.25 meter and it is carrying a charge of 0.2 microcoulomb. It means radius is given and charge is given in the question. These two things. Of course, you will convert the microcoulomb into coulomb. You have to find the electric field intensity at the point inside. Of course inside the shell the charge is 0, so electric field will be 0. Just outside the shell, this is the formula with you. For the magnitudes I have written, of course direction you can mention will be outward only. This is 1 upon 4 pi epsilon naught q upon capital R square. The values of q and capital R you will be putting, and you will be getting the value for the electric field. That is, you are getting 2.8 into 10 to the power 4 Newton per Coulomb. This will be acting in the outward direction, of course perpendicular to the surface. This is you are aware of for a conducting shell, because this is a spherical shell of metal. Metal means it is a conductor. So you have to take care in the question what they are asking about. Then third part says at a distance of 3 meter from the center of the shell. So when you are taking at the distance 3 meter, then R is greater than capital R. So capital R is to be replaced by small r. So this is again the formula which we have taken for the point charge, same formula. So you have to put the value of Q, which is 0.2 into 10 to the power minus 6. You have to put the value of capital R, which is again known to you, 3 meter they have given. So no need to convert the units. You can directly go with the things and can find the result. Direction, both the cases, it is outward, perpendicular to the surface. Let us see the next question with you. That says a solid metal sphere of radius capital R. This is the metal sphere. Radius is capital R given. Has a net charge plus 3q. And because it is a metal sphere, so charge has to lie on the surface of the sphere, this way, outside. They are saying again a metal shell of inner radius R1 and outer radius R2 is concentric with the solid sphere. So now when it is a metal sphere, then of course inside the charge will be 0. But if in the question they are asking you some solid sphere, but that is insulated, then you have to only apply that formula which we have discussed. So that formula is not applicable here, of course. So you have to read the question, what is being asked, and then you have to work out accordingly. They are saying a metal shell of inner radius R1 and R2, which is shown here in the diagram. This is a spherical shell. Two surfaces of the spherical shell are shown. One is the inner surface of the spherical shell and other is the outer surface of the spherical shell, and the radii are given R1 and R2. And all this is concentric with the solid sphere. So center is same for all the three things. It means for the solid sphere, for the inner and outer surface of the spherical shell. And they are saying and has a net charge minus q. Net charge on this spherical shell is negative, that is minus of 2q. Using Gauss theorem, you have to find the electric field at A, B, C and D. They are showing you the points A, B, C and D. At different locations, the points has been shown. It is visible to you, I think. So what it is, you have to find the electric field using Gauss theorem, and Gauss theorem is giving you q upon epsilon naught 4 pi r square or 4 pi x square. If x is taken as the distance, here I have taken x equals to OB. Inside, of course, there is no charge. You will write because there is no charge inside the metal sphere. So charge will always lie on the surface of the conductor. So E will be equals to 0. Of course, you can write the formula for E, that is equals to q upon epsilon naught. E ds, it is equals to q upon epsilon naught. And the value of integral ds will be given according to the point chosen. Here you are having simply charge is 0 inside, so electric field will be equals to 0. Rest of the things will not affect. If I wish to take the electric field intensity at B point, then by the formula, here you can write the formula and the value of Q. Charge is here 3Q given in the question. Net charge is 3Q. So outside this metal sphere, the charge is 3Q only. So that value of charge you have to write. I have simply written the answers. You can write the steps yourself. that EB, that is equals to 1 upon 4 pi epsilon naught 3q upon x square, because value of small q is equals to 3q here in this particular part. Now if I wish to take at C point is outside the metallic shell. Now here you see, when this is a conductor, then because of the induction effect, negative plus negative 3q will appear on the inner side, and because of minus 3q, plus 3q will appear on the outer side. So plus 3q will come on the outer side, minus 2q is already there. So plus 3q minus 2q will be equals to simply q. So at C, when you take the electric field, that will be value of charge will be equals to capital Q only, because that will be given by solving minus 3q here on the inner surface, and then plus 3q on the outer surface. So plus 3q minus 2q will be equals to q. This I have written here just for the sake that in case if you are having any confusion, that you can understand it. Minus 3q on the inner surface, plus 3q will come by the induction only on the outer surface. So on the outer surface, net charge will be equals to plus 3q minus 2q. So it is equals to q with positive sign. And the distance is x1 where I have written, where x1 is OC. It means I can draw the Gaussian surface by taking the distance OC. That I need not show, I can only understand, because till now Gauss theorem is clear in your mind. So you can directly use the formula and can give the answer. At point D here, D point is lying inside the metal shell. Here, inside the metal shell, again there is no charge, and when there is no charge, then this will be equals to 0. So you will write in bracket, because charge inside the metal shell is 0. Second part, they are asking surface charge density of solid and hollow spheres. Electric field, first part we have already done. Second part, sigma they are asking, that is the surface charge density, which is given by charge upon area. So charge on the solid sphere is plus 3q and area is 4 pi capital R square. So you can write the surface charge density of the solid sphere. That is simply 3q upon 4 pi capital R square. And if you want to write sigma 1 on the inner surface of the spherical shell, then sigma 1 you can write charge on the inner surface, as I have said, because of the induction it will be negative of 3q. So it will be equals to minus of 3q divided by the area. Area will be equals to 4 pi small r1 square, because this radius for the inner shell is r1. So you will be writing surface area is 4 pi r1 square. Similarly, you can write the surface charge density on the outer spherical shell. On the outer spherical shell, we have already discussed the charge is capital Q with positive sign. So that is the charge, and area is 4 pi r2 square. So these are simply I have written in the way that you should be able to understand the answer. But in the beginning, for the board exam, you need to write the formula as well. Once only you can write the formula, and then you can come up with all these things. These type of questions are asked in CBSE. Many questions simply by changing the values of the charge. Here they may give you some other value, small q. Here they may give you capital Q, whatever. So they can change the value, but they may ask you the surface charge densities. They may ask you the electric field. Plenty of questions are there in the previous year sample papers. If you see, or on the site, you just go and search for the CBSE last year questions on the Gauss theorem. You will be able to find many such questions over there. And simply you need to practice so that the concept of Gauss theorem is clear in your mind, and you should be applied to work out the questions. This is one more question which is taken from your NCERT only. This is a spherical conductor. Now the thing is, again, to put stress on the thing that spherical conductor, they are saying of radius 12 centimeter has a charge of 1.6 into 10 to the minus 7 coulomb distributed uniformly over its surface. It means it is not a insulator, but it is a conductor. For the conductor only it is distributed on its surface. So it means results, even if they are asking sphere, but this is a conducting sphere, so results will be same as that of the spherical shell. So only for that purpose I have written this question. If they want to, if it is not distributed over its surface, then it can be an insulator. That is not specially mentioned in your syllabus, as I have said earlier, but you have been given in some solved problems in your NCERT. So just to understand that part I have discussed with you. So this is a very simple question. It means you have to find the electric field inside the sphere, just outside the sphere, and at a point 18 centimeter from the center. Inside, of course, it will be 0 because charge is residing on the surface of the spherical conductor. It is mentioned in the question itself. So here inside the sphere charge is 0, so electric field will also be 0. And when you are taking the point outside the sphere, then small r, it is equals to capital R, and it is given in the question 12 centimeter is the radius, so you can convert it into meters, that is 12 into 10 to the minus 2 meter. So you can put the value here in the formula for electric field, which is equals to 1 upon 4 pi epsilon naught q upon r square. So you put the value of q, you put the value of capital R, and you are able to get the result 10⁵ Newton per coulomb. When you are taking the point 18 centimeter, 18 centimeter is of course greater than 12 centimeter. It means it is outside the sphere. So then you will be taking it as 0.18 meter, and you put the values, and again you can get the result for the electric field. So again this is a simple question with you, but just to show you that even if they are writing the sphere, but you are, because the charge is distributed uniformly over its surface, so it will work as a sphere. Spherical shell only, results will be of the spherical shell only is to be used, not to get confused with the derivation which I have done for the insulated sphere. So that derivation is for the insulated sphere, the numerical is coming on the conducting sphere. So for the conducting sphere, results are same as that of the spherical shell. So this thing should be very clear in your mind, not to get confused with the things. So this is the end of this lecture. Thank you.